Okay, so let's move this just a bit. Okay. Need to see if my sound is working well. All right. So I messed with the microphones a little bit to try to get them sounding better. So I need to listen for just a sec. It does sound better to me, less noise, background noise. Okay, there's a delay. Okay. The only thing I noticed with this microphone is if you get a little too loud, then it crackles. So I'll try not to do that. But so far it's not, I don't hear it crackling, plus my voice is not very loud, so it should, as long as I stay far enough away from it, I don't think it will get bad. Okay, so I also have music for the stream as well this time, which I have not had in the past, and I got a different camera set up. So we'll see. We might have a little bit more quality. Okay. So what I think I'll do today is I'm going to work on this aliens drawing. Again, it's kind of hard to see it because of the glare. I lowered the lights in here so that you can it doesn't have as much overhead light coming down on it, but still it's just tough with graphite. But I haven't worked on this since the last time I streamed at all. So I thought it would be good to keep picking away at this. I don't know how long I'll be on here, maybe an hour. So let's see. I think what I'll do is I'll mute this microphone and turn the music on. And then that way, if anybody comes into chat and has questions or comments or anything they would like to post in chat, I will turn the microphone back on and then answer questions. But yeah, other than that, I'll just turn the music on and start drawing and kind of work my way down this drawing. So. Okay, here we go. Let me see how this music. Let's get this music going. Okay. This is just, I just went through the YouTube audio library and picked some stuff. So it's nothing, it's royalty free, so I can use it, but it's nothing, hopefully it's not stuff you've heard too much. Let me bump it up just a bit. I could have the monitoring status on, but I don't want to do it that way. Okay, that sounds all right. So maybe in the future I'll look and see if there's any better playlists I can find. I'm sure there are, but that's what I did quickly the other day to get some music set up on here. Since I don't see anybody in chat, I'm going to go ahead and mute my microphone and just work. And I'll try to keep an eye on it as I go. Hey, melodic chronic. Actually have somebody in chat. How's it going? Drop the music down just a hair. This camera is picking this up okay. Oh, you couldn't hear me. Sorry. I had my microphone on mute and just had the music going. I just basically said hello. That's about it. I have to keep playing with my levels. I just have to keep playing with the levels on my microphone and music on this stream. It looks good to you? Well, thank you. I haven't been working on this one very much, so I sort of have to kind of get back into it. Kind of get the feel for it, and I don't have that just yet. So, bring this microphone in here a little bit closer. Trying to listen to myself. While the stream is going on, so I can hear, but there's like a 6 or 7 second delay. When I used to stream, I had music on my, I would just play it in the background and then hope the microphones picked it up okay. So I finally went ahead and put together some music that actually plays on this OBS program, and so I have to sort of fine-tune my setup a little bit. Is the concept here like a writhing nest of entangled xenomorphs? Yeah, pretty much. That's the idea. I can zoom out a bit on it so you can see it a little better. Let me try this on this new setup. Kind of see it's a cover image, so there's space at the top for lettering, title letters, and you can kind of see it without the glare on it from the light. So I haven't really worked on it very much yet, and this is just the underdrawing. Yeah, it's gonna be painted, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll do this one as a painting. The color structure won't be very complicated. I think it'll mostly just be kind of a monochromatic. But I think I'll use mostly the highlights, since aliens have a bunch of, they tend to have specular highlights on them more than anything. So that's, be kind of just the mass, and then the negative space will be more important. But if I don't do it traditionally, then I'll probably color it. I'll color it digitally, possibly, just because there's just not a lot of color. And that might look better as a digital color, but, just kind of flat gradients. So I'm not 100% sure right now, but either way, I need to have the drawing done. Okay. Sort of the problem with coming back to drawings and just working on them a little bit at a time is it takes me a little bit to kind of get back into the feel of it. You like messing with color digitally to make choices without committing? Yeah, that's for sure one of the major benefits of digital work. A lot of times when I'm doing a traditional painting, I will go in and either take a picture or scan it and then do a color, sketch in the iPad. Just exactly for that reason, so I can look at different versions of it without committing. Which is probably what I should have done with this last painting that I've got going on, because I'm not really liking the colors right now, which is sort of a bummer, but it happens. think I'm going to take those headphones out. It's because it's hard for me to listen to myself and work at the same time because there's a delay on the microphone that it makes me talk slow because I'm trying to listen to what I'm saying. So hopefully the audio is coming through okay. If not, just let me know. Okay, so let me. I also took the camera that I was using before, and now it's the head camera, which I don't know if it's a good idea or not because it has a higher resolution than the other one I was using. So it shows more detail than the other camera I had going on before in the last couple of streams. But I'll be interested to see what this looks like on our actual, like on the TV, because this little TV here, it's something is, I don't know, you can mess with the picture on it, and I've done that, but it just doesn't really, it's kind of too high contrast, which I assume they did because it's a smaller TV, so that the screen is easier to see detail on, but it just doesn't really look very good. Is this for fun or do I work for comic book companies? This one is a portfolio piece actually. Until somebody decides they want it, I guess. But that's one of the reasons it's sort of been on the, I put it aside when I'm working on other stuff. It's nice to work on stream with because it doesn't have any time frame for it. I mean, I'd rather get it done sooner rather than later, but right now I can sort of take my time on it, if that makes sense. Alright, so I'm going to, let me finish that. I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to keep jumping around, but I should probably finish what I was working on first. Sometimes I get inspiration and finish something in a few days, and other times it takes weeks. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. My commission work, I don't know. There's sort of a, I don't want to say a trap to it, but it's kind of like, well, it's any sort of deadline sort of work, and commissions don't necessarily have a deadline, but I feel like, you know, people have paid and they're waiting for their artwork, and so I try to get after them as soon as I can. And there's also the thing of, you know, the sooner you finish them, the sooner you can reopen a list, or you can get more work, which means you can, you know, make more income from it. So there is time pressure to it, which to me it's both good and bad. gives you motivation. But I also, with this last one, I just am working on it kind of, I feel like, particularly since I'm almost done with my current list right now. And so it's sort of getting to the point where I'm feeling the time crunch of I want to get this one done. But I also left the most complicated ones to the end of the list. So I'm trying not to rush through it, but I can tell I sort of feeling like I need to get it done sooner than I really should. So that's one of the reasons you skip over the color sketch, which I should have done in before I put it together, because of the colors. I don't know, they're not 100% working for me. It doesn't mean I can't save them, but it's kind of bumming me out. You've only ever sold one piece? Well, that's alright. I think that's another trap when it comes to artwork is, and I don't think that's what you're necessarily saying, but sometimes I think people equate success, well, I mean, if you're trying to do it professionally, equate success to how much stuff you sell. And particularly with the commission stuff, it's a collector's market, so it goes up and down all the time, and there's a lot of factors at play in that market that aren't necessarily under your control. And so sometimes it feels like, if you're not, I've done pretty well the last few times my list has opened up, thankfully, which is very nice. But there were times when it took forever for things to get filled. Well, it seemed like forever to me, anyways. But it didn't. It's easy to kind of take that personally, I guess. I don't know exactly. But yeah, selling stuff is hard. It's hard to do. Alright. That's why I have an art representative. Because I don't like selling stuff, and I don't like self-promotion, and I think that sometimes that's important in the commercial art business. So it's nice to have people to do that. I'm getting kind of low on the screen. I like working on this on stream. I think that it's too bad the graphite doesn't show up very well. But I can also tell you I work a lot slower when I'm trying to pay attention to the chat and like just in general, look at the, make sure everything is running properly. And so, but you like your work, so I know it's not completely because it's definitely been a source of feeling inadequate to some degree. Hard not to feel that way, but I like my work, so I know it's not completely because I'm not good enough. Yeah, I don't know. It is a hard, I think it's sort of a difficult separation to make in your head is but I wouldn't, success is not, I think people tie that to financial things, financial factors that don't necessarily, if you're happy with what you're doing, you're headed in the right direction, and you should get a sense of satisfaction from just that. Even if, say, you were like a beginner, I'm not saying that you are, I don't, but like, there should be more purpose to what you're doing when you're engaging in any kind of art form than just like what the outcome is, if that makes sense. Particularly if the outcome that you're looking for is to sell stuff. And I'm not saying like if you choose to work in a commercial art environment, you have to be aware of your work ethic and finishing things, and that has to, if that's your choice is to work in that field, then your kind of philosophical artwork, emotional attachment to things needs to be tempered for that market. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you throw it away either with what you're doing if you make a choice to be in that arena. But yeah, it can definitely be frustrating. And there is artwork that, a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, but there are definitely times where people's artwork, it's how do I say this politely? Its quality does not necessarily, it's not necessarily why or how they got a certain job, because a lot of times it doesn't work that way. Your initial goal years ago, but it doesn't seem as possible now. I'm an artist for a living, but it's an industry and a type of art that I wouldn't really do on my own. Well, and that can be okay also. Just, if you're, unfortunately, I think most people in general, that's why it's called work, is because it's not necessarily something you enjoy doing. So at least if you're in the arena of artwork, in something that you consider a form of artwork, then at least that's something, and if you can budget time for your own work, Yeah, and you don't know. I mean, you don't know what the future is going to hold necessarily for your, what you're doing now and what you could be doing, I guess. I don't really obviously know your specifics, but things can change. Opportunities come along. And everybody has a different situation financially also. The reason I've been able to do this and try to do this over the last 4 years, I guess, seriously, of working, because I wasn't doing this before, was just, a set of circumstances that came along that kind of made it to where I've been drawing since I was 2 years old, but I hadn't been in a position where I could, try to work on it full time. And I honestly think unless you get very lucky, it does take it's a long process of building your reputation and meeting people and getting your artwork, enough of a portfolio put together that people can see what you're doing. And then even then, I think it takes the right opportunity coming along at the right time, just in general. So it's not like my artwork is good enough, so now I have a job. I think there's a lot of factors that have to sort of fall into place. But it also is important, if you do get that opportunity, I think, to take advantage of it to the best of your ability and definitely meet people's expectations and try to exceed them if you can. If you ever watch Jim Lee do his streaming, I remember him talking about in his opinion, it kind of comes down to 3 different factors when they're hiring people. It's the quality of the work, the speed of the person working, and then how are they to work with. And to him, he said, if you have 2 out of 3, then you're in pretty decent shape. And they can work with people. So there's the factor of, if all your artwork is on, like mine is all on, it's not all on Instagram, but it's one of the reasons I started streaming again. Because after we moved, then I sort of put it on the back burner. But I think at the very least, I understand you can't get a total sense of somebody, but you can get a better sense of them, watching them work and interacting with people, I think, in a way. Hand is not great. You can get a feel for a person, sort of. Unless, I guess some people put on a persona when they come online and do streaming, but I would hope it would be sort of a, give people a little bit of an introduction of what kind of a person you might be to work with, sort of. Maybe, because to me, that is the hardest thing hardest one of those 3 to get across to people, is how you would be to work with, unless you go to a lot of conventions and meet people in person. Which I haven't had the opportunity to do very much. as of right now. So, oh man, this little tiny pencil. If you breathe on it, it breaks. Okay. Well, if that makes sense, I don't know. There's a certain amount of social media presence you have to have sometimes. There are, I think, a lot of advantages to that, to social media, as far as being able to network with people that you would otherwise not have been able to. But I think there's a lot of pitfalls, obviously, to it as well. So some competitiveness, at least to me, because I get overly competitive about things, which I shouldn't do. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think as long as you're doing something that's artwork related, you could be working at a hardware store. Not that that's a bad thing to do, it's just not, or not that that's all, you know what I mean? Like, you could be doing something totally unrelated to what you're interested in, so. Yeah, Jim Lee is enjoyable to watch. I like to watch his streams when he's on. Started watching him when he started on Twitch, however many years ago that was. I know it's like 7 years ago. Something. I know he just had another stream where he talked about how long he'd been on there. It's interesting to me that Instagram kind of became the standard for showing your artwork, so I, of course, set one up. It's not huge, but I feel like it's decent. Instagram is sort of, it is what it is, you know. I think there are other places that would be more constructive to put your work, but at the same time, everybody looks at Instagram. And then you've got all the AI stuff going on where people are having their artwork lifted off of Instagram, and it's kind of a bummer. But at the same time, it's the place where people go, so. You've worked those kind of jobs and you'd rather not go back to them. Well, there you go. That's good motivation. Let's see here. So this... What time is it? Okay. I'm just gonna have to kind of keep picking away at this one. There is, they're pretty detailed in general, obviously. But I have a lot of this in shadow too. So really, once I get the main focal areas that have lighting on them kind of laid out, I should be able to rough the rest of it in quickly. But that's okay. It's not gonna happen today. I gotta get back to that other image. It's making me mad. It's a bummer. Luckily I scanned it, so If I need to start it over, I can. I just really don't want to. But sometimes that's the answer to it. You know, there's like a balance between trusting your process and then making the decision that it's time to can it and start over. Start the being kind of heavy-handed today. Start the process over. Love lost edges. Yeah, lost edges can add a lot to the composition of a drawing. You let people's brains do some heavy lifting in your work. It's actually more engaging for the viewer if all the details aren't fully developed, because they have to actually. Yeah, you can do a lot of work with subtle shapes and lost edges and that sort of thing. Yes, I'm sorry for distracting you more. No, that's all right. I wouldn't come on stream if it really mattered about being distracted. No, I appreciate you being in chat and so yeah, don't worry about it. I'm taking these videos and posting them on YouTube, my YouTube channel also. So if I really wanted to just sit here and get stuff done, I would just record it and post it on YouTube instead of going on stream and interacting with other humans. Okay, so I tried to lay this in, so I don't know if you saw, I have some lighting reference really quickly that I made for this, and I tried to overlap them so I have some good light on dark and dark on light shapes, but I also have, yes, lost edges where things blend into each other because I want to kind of preserve that mass and the silhouette shapes of the aliens. So right now I'm kind of in the process of figuring that out as well. It's kind of how I want things to lay over the top of each other and you still be able to see what I want you to see. You asked some xenomorphs to pose for you as reference. Yeah, it was really difficult. Took a while. They're not super cooperative with that sort of thing. No, I just made some little mock heads and took some quick pictures, lit them the way I wanted them, and took some pictures. Which works well with objects where you don't have, it's not easy to get photographic reference if that's what you're working off of for lighting. I use that especially for lighting. Just make some quick maquettes, which is another thing I'm trying to get better at doing because they're kind of valuable to the way I like to work, and the images the way I like them to come out is I like to have lighting that's pretty realistic, and you can figure out the lighting on forms. It just takes longer. And this one, for the most part, just has one overhead light source. For the most part, there's I think I had another light coming from below. But like some of the drawings I do, I have like 3 or 4 light sources, and that can get a little tricky if you're just trying to work that out in your head. Let's see. Aliens are kind of tough too, because really there's not a lot that indicates what is what on an alien. What I mean is, like, there's just a mouth. Really, I mean, their hands are recognizable, and they have sort of a humanoid body shape. But if you're just looking at a head like this one I'm working on right now, it's at it from a different angle. Like this one at the top is not difficult to see because it's a side profile and it's pretty recognizable. Man, oh man. Keep breaking that off. But yeah, it's sort of difficult to subtly indicate certain things because there's not a lot. Like if you're drawing a human face, then you can show a lot of detail just with a shadow shape without drawing very much actual detail. But on these things, you kind of need to... There's not much frame of reference for a viewer to look at it and be like, oh, I know what that is because of where this is. I guess that makes sense. And I tried to think about that when I was lighting them, but I couldn't get them all to line up to where you could see their face in the light and still keep it consistent on the other ones. So I tried to kind of pick the most important one, which was that you would look at first, which is the one that's at the very top of the pile and has the more obvious silhouette. And so I tried to get the lighting on it to go where I wanted it to where you would look first. And so the other ones, they just sort of did what they did based off of the lighting on that one. I wonder what that flicker... Let me look at this thing. It's doing some weird stuff. See if it's getting hot. It doesn't feel like it. Your boss was talking to you, so you're at work watching Twitch. I wonder what that flickering is. I wonder if So this is actually a phone. This is my new phone that's hooked in. I'm wondering. If the USB cable is okay. I just got some new ones. He was doing a little bit earlier too. I just bought some brand new USB cables for it. They should be pretty high speed data cables. I don't know. My computer is relatively old. I've had it for quite a while. And when I got it, I wonder, it's not the vibration from, couldn't be the vibration from that, because this thing isn't touching the drawing table. As long as I get my, he doesn't seem to mind if I watch YouTube videos and whatnot. Well, that's good. It's good to have a boss like that. Probably makes your day more go by quicker if you can watch stuff while you work. Yeah, see, I wonder why it's flickering. Weird. There's nothing going on with the actual camera moving or anything. And it doesn't feel like it's getting hot. I don't know. What would be nice is a digital SLR setup camera for streaming, but that's a little too much of a financial commitment at the moment. This new phone should have it has a good camera on it. This little thing is pretty decent little webcam when I got it. And it was recommended for artwork. But I like this because you can zoom in and out as you're working, which you can't do with that little webcam. Been on here just a little bit over an hour. This, so you can see it without the glare so much. Maybe. Yeah, it is difficult to photograph graphite drawings. There's so much reflection. And I tried to drop the overhead lighting down in here in this room because it was really making it difficult to see, but even still it is what it is. I don't know, you can kind of see where this one is headed. It might turn out. Just bummed about the other drawing. Really just, sometimes you can put an image together really fast. It kind of flows and comes together. And then other times you can put a lot of work into them and just, you can't make it happen. So then you have to make the decision of when do you cut ties with it and just rework it. And try to do that before you ruin the one that you're working on that isn't quite turning out. That way maybe you could put it aside, start a new one, and if the new one isn't quite what you want, then maybe by then you go back to the old one. And it's, you can see different things to change in it that you didn't see before because you stopped looking at it. So I sort of am at the point where I need to make that decision. This TV screen, this looks really grainy. But I don't think it looks that way on the actual video once I see him on our TV. I don't think. But it's a new camera, so sometimes the best thing is to walk away from it and come back tomorrow. That has happened many times. Yeah, a lot of times what I do is I'll finish something and I'm like, I don't really particularly care for that, but at least it's finished. Because you see all the problems that you were trying to solve and fix and finish properly. But once you step away from it for a while, you're kind of forget those, and then you just sort of look at the parts that you did like. I find it's that way with a lot of people that they'll look at your artwork also is they see the a lot of times they see the good stuff, and then they see maybe pick up the things that could have been better as a secondary. But a lot of times they're looking at whereas when I'm looking at an image, all I'm looking at are the mistakes that I'm trying to fix. And there's a lot of art is very subjective, so people have different tastes and things, and it might not be what I was looking to do, but it might be somebody's favorite thing they've ever seen. You never know, because everybody has different tastes and opinions on that stuff. I know there's artwork that I've posted on Instagram that I was really surprised that it got so many. I mean, I don't have a ton of likes on my stuff in general just because it's Instagram. And I don't have a bazillion followers, but whatever. And then there's stuff that I'm like, well, this is a really good one. I like this one a lot. I think hopefully people will really. And then nobody likes him. So it's pretty subjective also. But I know this one that I'm working on right now, I think the colors are, the color layout isn't working. It's kind of fighting itself, and I don't know. I want that to be like that. Actually look at just get away from my lighting reference and actually look at it. There we go. But anyways, I should probably wrap it up here shortly. This wasn't a very long. My most liked and commented piece was a quick sketch I did at work, and then did a quick digital color wash just for fun, not trying hard. That's the piece that I sold. Huh. Yeah, you never can tell. Sometimes you can, but a lot of times it's sort of luck of the draw too, in a way, with what the algorithm promotes. Or, if you tag it properly at the right time when something's popular. I did this quick painting. It was a Shang-Chi. It was right when that movie came out, and I tagged it and posted it, and I think it got quite a few more likes than my other stuff, just because of what was being pushed into people's feeds, would be my guess. But I try not to focus on that too much, and just sort of, do the best you can and put it on there and see what happens. Because it is kind of luck of the draw sometimes. While I'm working on this, I can tell I'm thinking about that other drawing, and that's not necessarily a good thing. Yeah, I think it's interesting, and it's also maybe I shouldn't try too hard. Yeah, I don't know. I think if you're tying the successful, how you feel about your artwork to how many people like it on Instagram, I think that's even worse than, tying it to whether you're making money off of your artwork or not, because it's such a arbitrary thing a lot of times. long stream. I really didn't get very much done on this either, but you know, I think I got some. We got a little snowstorm going on, and I need to go do some stuff outside before it gets dark. But yeah, I should probably just buckle down and just do a long sitting on this and finish it. But I don't think it'll take that many more hours. It's just trying to kind of dial in the heads. I don't want to rush through them. We're getting there. Once I get, this arm, the hands are identifiable too on the aliens, but this arm, I like this form. This, I like this alien, that turn, the twist, and like but yeah. I will probably, I think that was an hour and 20. Maybe I'll stream this a little bit more than once a week. Who knows? I don't know. I have to figure out why this camera's flickering. It's always something with the streaming stuff for me anyways. But yeah, anyways, hey, there's D. Rogers. Right at the end of the stream. That's okay. I didn't put an announcement on Instagram. I should have done that. Maybe I'll stream again this weekend or something, depending on what's going on. Stephanie maybe could get on here too and help with reading chat and stuff. She's pretty sick right now, so. But maybe she'll be feeling better in a couple days. I don't know. It's kind of a stomach thing, so maybe it'll be a short one. Yeah, Melodic Chronic, I appreciate you being on stream and keeping me company and giving me something to ramble about. Good luck with that snowstorm. I think it's coming to us soon. Yeah, this is where you can definitely feel the transition. It's more of a springtime snowstorm than they have been. But these can be kind of the more dangerous ones around here. Is these spring snowstorms. They can tell you it's going to be 6 inches and it'll end up being 14 of wet snow. Last year we had a really bad one in April. But yeah, I just wanted to get some stuff cleared before it gets dark because it's supposed to snow more tonight. So. Hope D. Rogers, hope she feels well soon. Yeah, she was up throwing up all night, and so I don't think it's food poisoning because she's got a pretty good fever. So I think it's just like I think it's just like a stomach flu, but it came on really quickly. So hopefully it will take care of itself. She's feeling better than she was earlier today, that's for sure, and she's eating a little bit, so I think she'll be all right. But maybe not by the weekend. We'll see. We're running up to this snowstorm tomorrow. Are you? Yeah, I don't know. I think we're kind of sitting right in the middle. We're kind of in between the heavy stuff. Some of the heavier stuff's going more towards Rapid City, and then also more towards the mountains, the Bighorns. So we'll see what we actually end up with. And then by the weekend, it's supposed to be back in the 50s, so it'll just be a mess for a little while. But yeah. But anyways, I can hear myself again, so I just want to make sure I'm not too close to this microphone, making it pop. So I have to wait for the delay. Yeah, it sounds alright. But anyways, oops. I will, I don't know, I always say I'll make a post, I'll make a story on Instagram before I come on here, but then I'm like, I don't really feel like doing that, so I haven't been, but I think Thursday is probably my more consistent day that I can come on here, and probably in the afternoon like this, afternoon for me anyways. And I think I'll probably just keep working on this thing. I need to get my last couple commissions finished. That's my priority right now. So this is sort of just a side project, but it is nice to work on it on stream, even though it doesn't look very good on the camera because it's graphite. But I'll see if we're gonna do something this weekend. I'm not sure what's going on exactly this weekend. Then I'll try to remember to post something on Instagram. It seems like, I didn't have a ton of people following me on Twitch before, but it seems like that's dropped off considerably. I might do some streaming directly to YouTube also, possibly in the future, instead of streaming to Twitch and then uploading the videos to YouTube. I just don't know if I have anybody that would come on a live stream on YouTube yet. At least there's some leftover people on Twitch from my previous stuff. But yeah, anyways, I'll plug my stuff really quick. So, like I always do, jeffmart.com, the top left corner on the screen, that's where you would go to get a commission. And again, my list is still being worked on currently, the current list, but it'll be opened up eventually. I would hope I'll hopefully get done with stuff in the next couple weeks. And then Ember Artist, of course, is my new YouTube channel where I'm posting these videos, and I will at some point maybe put together some just specifically YouTube videos or do some actual YouTube streaming, so I don't have to it's not that hard to upload stuff. But and then n.burr is my Instagram in the top right corner, so you can go look at some of my other artwork if you'd like. But yeah, that was not a very long stream. It's longer than I was going to be on here, which is typical. And I didn't really get that much finished on this thing, but whatever. It's hard for me to work and talk at the same time. D. Rogers, all the work is looking great. Well, I appreciate that. I've got a bummer of a drawing right now that I'm kind of struggling on. So I don't know if I'm going to redo it or what. Rework the paint on it. But yeah, things are turning out all right in general. A lot of chronic. Yeah, thanks for coming on here. I appreciate you being in chat and giving me somebody to talk to. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you back here on another one of these streams. But anyways, I think that's about it. I'm glad that I got my music set up on my channel. It's nice. I like having music on my streams better. I don't know that I have my levels correct so that the microphone, you can hear it over the music very well. But we'll play with that stuff. And yeah, anyways. There's a pile of aliens. Let me zoom out. I'll zoom out at the end of the video. Right now, so you can get to see a little better of what I'm doing. Ta-da! there you have it. So actually zoomed out, you can see. Yeah, maybe I should keep this camera zoomed out further when I'm working. Maybe it won't be quite as, it doesn't look quite as grainy. But yeah, here's my little iPad with some reference pictures on it. And yeah, anyways, I appreciate everyone watching this. There haven't been very many views lately, but that's all right. We're just getting started. And yeah, we'll just kind of keep working on this one. I sort of, like the last stream I did, I made a specific drawing for the stream, which, but I think I will just kind of keep working on this stuff unless somebody, people are welcome to send me messages on Instagram if there's anything specific they'd like to see drawn. I could also work on some colored work, some of my color work maybe on here too. Possibly. It's a little bit more difficult because my paint stuff is over there. But yeah, anyways, I think that's enough of that, and I will maybe possibly be on here this weekend, but no guarantees. If not that, it'll be Thursday again. So yeah, I'll have to figure out what's making the camera flicker. But anyways, I'm gonna do the awkward shuffle over to the computer and shut her down. So I appreciate everybody watching, and I will see you next time.